All right, on this problem, if you are solving and finding the factors for f of x is equal to x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4x minus 20, we are going to first of all factor the polynomial. Because the polynomial has 4 terms, we are going to group the first 2 together and the last 2 together. And we need to find the GCF of each parentheses. Okay, the GCF of the first parentheses is going to be x to the second power. The GCF of the second parentheses is 4. So what we're going to do is we are going to divide that first parentheses by the GCF, and that's going to give me x squared times x minus 5, plus we're going to divide the second parentheses by the GCF, and that's going to give me 4 times x minus 5. Okay, at this point, when we factor a polynomial with 4 terms, we know this parentheses has to be the same. So my final factorization would be the common parentheses times the parentheses that contains that GCF. All right, so from there, we know x minus 5 is a factor. We also know x squared plus 4 is a factor, but it is not in simplified form. So what I'm going to do at this point is to take the factor x squared plus 4, set it equal to 0, and I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and I get x squared equal negative 4. To solve a squared function, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And when I take the square root of what is on the right side, I have to remember it is a positive and negative answer. So I'm going to get x is equal to positive negative square root of negative 4. So I'm going to break negative 4 down as the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 4, because we can't take the square root of a negative number. And that's going to give me x is equal to positive negative 2i. All right, from there, I can now get my factors. I have x, and I have x is equal to negative 2i. To get that factor, I'm going to make each of those equal 0. So I'm going to subtract 2i from both sides, and I get x minus 2i equals 0. I'm going to add 2i to both sides, and I'm going to have x plus 2i is equal to 0. I also have the factor x minus 5, and I can set it equal to 0. So my answer is going to be that the factors of this particular polynomial function is going to be x minus 5 times x minus 2i times x plus 2i. Hopefully this will help. If you have any other questions, let me know.